they've got a camera, their phone sitting up there, and they're talking about how you can make millions.
There is so many voices out there, and they are successful. So we as humans look at them and go, well, we want that. How did you get there?
Well, don't let social media dictate to you who your thought leader is.
Right.
Because it'll just keep feeding you stuff. Say that again. That was really good advice.
Don't put it on a pedestal. Give me an amen.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, I'm all fired up now.
I honestly think that 99% of successful people suck. They are terrible. They don't really offer anything of value, and they're not worth listening to. So today we're going to talk about a 3-step process to figure out, okay, who's that 1% for me?
Right.
That's going to offer me value and help me grow. Because, like I said, there's not, whether they're selling a package or writing a book, they got a YouTube channel. Yeah, those guys on YouTube channels, they suck, right?
Well, I mean, a really good point there. There is so many voices out there, and they are successful. So we as humans look at them and go, well, we want that. How did you get there? Well, you naturally want to listen to their advice, right? Because we put them on a pedestal, but we don't know anything about them. And that's the hard part with even going back to something as simple as Facebook. The difficulty of social media is that everyone posts their vacation pictures on there. And then that brought a lot of pressure to us as parents in that to be like, well, they're always going on vacation when it's only twice a year. But it looks like they've been vacationing all the time, right? And it's difficult. So when you see someone's success, first off, you don't know whether it's going to work well for your company. Mm-hmm. And you don't know what type of person. Maybe they rip somebody off to get to that point. Sure, they're successful. But what are you going to have to sell your soul to get that,
Yeah, you're going to sell your soul to get it, which, depends on the deal, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Hey, I'd maybe listen to some offers, on the right day. No, I'm just kidding. Most of these people are total fakes. Like they've got a camera, their phone sitting up there, mm-hmm. and they're talking about how you can make millions and how they attracted all this traffic and whatever it is, whether they're selling traffic, a business strategy, whatever it is. They they're practically coming out of their mom's basement. That Brad Paisley song about so much cooler online. He's like, I'm 5'2", and
Oh man, I haven't heard that song
living in my
years,
mom's basement.
Ryan. Yeah, is that all you do? Just listen around lame songs that were back in the 90s? Sorry, was that Healthy Friction? I
identify with that remark.
I used to identify with something. Yeah.
Yeah. So most of these people are just straight liars who are good salespeople, and so many of us as struggling business owners are so hungry for an answer that this guy confidently presents, or girl confidently presents, a solution, and we go, sure, here's my credit card. Let's try it out.
Yeah, it works for you, right? Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying here. We're just mixing up a couple things.
No, honestly, there's truth in that. I made a lot of money in sales, and especially when I was working for somebody else, did I always 100% believe in the solutions that I was selling? Not 100%. There were certain things that I sold because it fed my family, or because I had kind of the blinders on to think, yeah, this is a solution. I didn't do the homework to find out if it was the best solution. As an owner, I have to be a lot more meticulous or fact finding to go figure out, like, okay, is this the best solution? Do I want to put my name on it? Am I,
right.
Do I believe in it enough to sell
you did present a solution, right? So it really doesn't matter so much the price on that. If the people that you're following, you're listening to, have a solution, I mean, sometimes that solution may be worth what you're going after, but every single one of them's got a solution, right? Yeah. So, I mean, I think the point we're getting at is same thing. There's 1,000 people that you could follow, probably get good advice from. You can't pay all of them. So you got to pick a few good people that go, okay, how do I decipher I should be following this guy? Maybe it does come down to beliefs. Also for us as business owners, if we have a certain model that we want to follow, success and revenue is how we want to go. So maybe somebody that's targeting that.
Yeah. Yeah. And we'll talk about niching down and who our best customer is next week. But figuring out, first off,
Yeah.
Like butter, baby.
Smooth operator. Yeah.
Of figuring out first off if this person's actually successful, because
Not just on paper.
We've got a really good buddy who every couple of weeks he's telling us about this amazing new system that he's going to follow. It's going to make him millions of dollars, and it's just the next thing that pops up in his Instagram feed. And I'm not going to name this person for his safety, but no, because he'd become a target online.
Yeah, definitely a huge target. Yeah, but how do you go through? I've been working on some stuff here recently of trying to figure out who I follow, who do I allow to influence me, because you have to be so careful. I was very easily influenced when I was younger, and then you always say, well, and there were certain things that I followed that I shouldn't have. I should have made to fit for my family, my lifestyle, those types of things. And I just went in and followed exactly what they did. Well, everyone's life is different, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't, when they're selling you this stuff, they're like, well, you can do all these things. You have to make it match to that. Well, this is just not that simple.
Right. Yep. Yeah. People, time, place, economy, they're all different. So just following somebody's formula is not always going to work.
Yeah.
I think the most important thing at the outside, you will eliminate a huge chunk of them, is just do a little bit of research and figure out, okay, is this person actually successful? Do they have millions in the bank, or do they just have a million followers? That kind of thing, and figure out, okay, do they have some metrics of success? Okay. Next step would be, do they have this kind of success that I want? You can say, what's his name? Jeffrey Dahmer's got a lot of followers. Who was the other one? Ted Bundy. They were very influential.
Yeah.
Is that the kind of influence that I want?
Yeah.
Okay. So then now I can eliminate another chunk of these snake oil salesmen, or even some successful people who you're like, yeah, you made a lot of money. I don't want to make money that way.
But we all of us as humans define success differently, right?
No, it's exactly the same. Of course not. Yes.
To be argumentative just for the sake of it.
That's actually part of my persona. So, yeah.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's we all look at success very differently, whether it's, somebody that's been successful and they have spiritual success as well. And they've maintained that faith with their children, and they have great kids that are going out and doing that. Us as parents, right? We look at success in our children of them following Christ and their faith all the way throughout, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's successful. That's the goal.
Whether you look at someone you want to be in shape, or it doesn't matter to you, or whatever, what's your company going to be used for? And so you start, instead of just following blindly, come up with a list of things that you actually look. If you're listening to someone, you're like, boy, I really like listening to that person. Write down what you like about them. And then make sure you're going through and writing down what you dislike about them, because they're not going to be perfect. I got a pastor that I enjoy listening to that brings a lot of politics into the pulpit. I don't agree with that. But I just think, on that note,
take God out of politics. Yeah, right. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
I just think if you're going to hit your target of influencing people, and sometimes there's going to be people turned off from that. Not that it's wrong.
Right,
I don't think it's wrong, but it's, we were talking about this yesterday. It's kind of like bumper stickers, right?
I know you're choosing to put that on your car.
You're going to put that on your car. 50% of the people driving behind you are going to think that you're an idiot, and they're not going to want to talk to you. And so what could you be slowing down in your ability to influence people?
And for you, the other 50% will drive behind you and realize, I don't want to talk to him either because he drives like an asshole.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it is. Well, and this is exactly what we're talking about. You got to figure out, okay, is this guy the right pastor for me? One thing really stuck out when you were talking before, because I wasn't listening. I was just thinking about my answer.
I kind of figured. I've gotten used to it by now.
Yeah. That's our relationship. No, when you're talking about listening to somebody, you were saying, I like what they're saying. I would challenge you, when you're going out to figure out who you are going to follow, see how much you like what they're going to say. Because if you like it too much, you're already too similar to that person for them to really teach you something. you need to hear hard truths. You need to get a little uncomfortable when you're listening to them.
Well, especially if you want to grow, you have to get uncomfortable a little bit, right? Yeah.
If you want somebody to teach you how to be successful in business, or to teach you how to fix your spiritual life, or teach you to just grow up and be a man, they're not going to say a bunch of things that you like. You'll identify on certain levels and things like that. You have to like them enough, but not so much that it's too comfortable. There's no growth.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you'll just be hanging out and,
Well, it's no different than searching on the internet for, or if you have a struggle that you're dealing with and then you go talk to 10 different people trying to find the one that matches what you're feeling in that moment. Right?
Yeah, right.
I mean, you could type in, is nicotine good for me on Google? And it says, yes, take as much as you want. And then you could type in, is nicotine bad for me on Google? And then it's like, well, actually, all these things could happen with it too. So you could find whatever opinion you want. But yes, you definitely want to find someone that challenges you.
Yeah, well, and the algorithm's going to feed you what you want.
Yeah, we're in a culture that doesn't give you,
whether it's YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, to TikTok, the whole algorithm's designed to give you videos that you will like and keep watching. So don't let social media dictate to you who your thought leader is.
Right.
Because it'll just keep feeding you stuff you're like, yeah, exactly, I'm going to do that. Yeah. And that's not where people grow. When you want to change and grow, you have to kind of get slapped in the face or, kicked in the nuts a little bit and go, oh shit, I've been doing this wrong my whole life.
Right.
Mom and dad did this, so I just did what they did. And then you need somebody,
Are you one of those types to blame your parents for things? Yeah. Yeah.
Very
tell me about
interesting, yes.
Yeah, tell me about your mother, Ryan.
Yeah. When did you learn that your father hated you? No, I
will ask the questions.
Yeah. What papers?
Yeah.
I probably do have a tendency to do that.
Don't blame your mother.
You want to get real?
Well, that's the whole point in this, right?
Yeah, absolutely. At first, when you said it, I was like, no, I don't blame my parents. But yeah, I probably do a little bit. So it's a little bit of a generational thing. I grew up with a mother who her dad was an alcoholic, and she would talk to me about the things that she experienced as the child of an alcoholic. And I see how that has affected her life. And I learned a lot from her. And yeah, I probably go, oh yeah, my parents didn't do that. That's their fault. And while, our childhoods and how we grow up and how we're influenced, it's always going to be a part of us at what, a certain age, 16, 18, 21, something like that. All of a sudden it becomes our responsibility to fix those things or to at least work towards improvement. Because if we just sit there and say, well, my mom had a poverty mentality, therefore I have a poverty mentality.
We're being influenced by people that shouldn't have any influence at all.
Yeah. Right? Well, it's cop out.
Yeah.
That's just the way I am. Bullshit. You can use that all day as an excuse, but it's not going to get you anywhere.
Yeah.
So what's step 3 to picking an influencer?
Oh, I forgot what the first 2 were. No.
Yeah. Weed out the snake oil salesman.
Yeah.
Figure out who you identify with, and then what is it?
Then the third one here is going to be don't have too many of them. I would say definitely. We don't have millions of friends, right? Who do we? If you're inviting someone in to influence you, they're part of they're going to become, whether they know it or not, depending on the type, whether it's a mentor maybe, or if it is strictly just social media, which you have to be super careful with. Or maybe it's a business coach that you're hiring, right? Or a consultant of some type. You really want to get to know them just a little bit more. But I wouldn't have. There's definitely a caution there of having too many influencers. Yeah. Even if maybe they say they have the same thing, but you'd only have like 4 or 5 close friends, right? You have a million acquaintances.
Just one for me. I'm kind of
but how many of those acquaintances do you listen to their opinion? Well, you're allowing someone in that you barely know, maybe, unless you take things to the next level and start interacting with them in a different way. And now you're allowing them to change you and your business. So be very careful about having too many. I'd pick 2 or 3, maybe from different areas of life. The 3 or 4 guys that I really like to listen to,
besides me.
They have different structures that I pick and choose, take the meat out of what they're talking about. And then definitely go through and decipher, like, if I'm going to change something, especially in the business or my personal life, because they're all different for that, I'm going to definitely make sure that this is not it's going to affect me positively, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think so. Don't get too many, because you try listening to too many different voices at one time. One, you can't focus.
Yeah.
You'll be like, oh, I need to niche down. Oh, I need to spend more time with my family. Oh, I need to,
And don't put them
whatever.
on a pedestal. They're not. They're just human, right?
Say that again. That was really good advice.
Don't put it on a pedestal. Give me an amen.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. They don't. Man, I'm all fired up now. I just, no. You don't want to put these guys up.
I can feel the Spirit moving. Lord Jesus.
Yeah. You can't put them up here like there's something better, right? They're just human, and so they're not going to be perfect. They're still learning how to do it too. Sure, maybe they've come through somewhere in life, but you just can't follow without doing your research, because it's every decision that you move and change is going to change your life and maybe your family that you're with. I remember being influenced when I was younger by some people in the church, and I became so legalistic.
Oh yeah.
And I had no idea at that time, because I was still really, really trying to grow in my faith, right? Good heart, good intentions, but the path to hell is paved with great intentions, right? I became so different, and there was no balance, right? So I've learned to balance those things out. Imperfect, and there's things I need to work on, but it's definitely one of those things that you have to be careful in taking everything in, or doing it too fast.
Yeah.
Right? It could be a great idea, but somebody that's talking about it and teaching on it, they've probably been implementing that for the last several years.
Yeah.
Right? It's not something that they just came up with yesterday and decided to go talk about it on a viral video.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I think this will get a lot of hits. Whether you're talking about, like, people from biblical times, Moses or David, to George Washington, to Alex Hormozy, to Donald Trump, you see on a daily basis people who just think everything this person does is beautiful and perfect, and I'm going to follow them to the ends of the earth.
Yeah, it's hard to hear when that stuff happens. Yeah. I'm with you. It does. It happens a lot.
And not that Alex Hormozy's had any scandals or anything like that, but he's not the right influencer for every business owner in every situation.
I mean, it may have different goals, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, if you get caught following that person so closely that you think they're perfect.
And we've talked about it before. I mean, Hormozy's been doing this for a while, right? He's scaling his business.
Yeah.
You may not be ready to scale that big.
I'm not. Yeah. I have to get to 5 million before I can start doing some of the stuff that he wants to do.
Yeah.
Which, hashtag goals, right?
I mean, before you scale, you just got to figure out how to finish my fucking website. No.
It's a work in progress. Right. It's good for SEO to continually update it. Yes, it's on the to-do list, Mike. It'll get done. Yeah, you'll get Claude to do it. I got to figure out how.
Are we trying to get them to sponsor? Is that why we're just throwing names out there?
Get Claude to
shout out to Seasons Gin, because I'm drinking it and they're paying me for it.
No, we're sponsored today by Unrivaled Plumbing and Heating, because that part of the company makes money. We were talking about my mom earlier, and my mom and dad were amazing examples at reading good books. And I've shared this with you before. Mm-hmm. They read all the great books, Zig Ziglar,
Calvin and Hobbes.
Calvin and Hobbes, yep. Garfield, How to Win Friends and Influence People, 7 Habits. They read them, and they did a great job of passing them on to me. And I read a bunch of them too. But it took me growing up and becoming, aware to say, okay, I'm going to read this book, and then I'm going to implement it. I'm going to sit down and study it, and then put it into practice, because just like anything else, all the book knowledge in the world means zip if you don't actually go out and do it.
Right. Yeah.
So that's step 4. So figure out if you like them, or figure out if they're successful, figure out if they, have something to offer you, meet your standards for principles and success, and then don't just listen, follow, and do it.
Yeah. Now, what's a hindrance? What's something that's a good idea for this, but what's something for you that has held you
Don't
back?
lead the witness.
But yeah, it has held you back from initiating on these things that you say.
Yeah. Well, the biggest thing and the general problem is it's really easy not to change. I am human and I really like who I am. I'm doing pretty good. You know, you're talking
That
about
makes one of us. Yeah, it's great.
So as a human, we are naturally averse to change. No matter how much people say they like to change and grow and things like that, our natural state is just to maintain the status quo. So
Comfort.
that's the biggest thing.
Comfort?
Yes, comfort.
Yeah.
I just heard the first part of that word and I was like, that doesn't fit here. So yeah, we want to maintain the same. The second thing is self confidence and courage to do something new, because oftentimes you fail when you do something new. That's a good thing. But no matter how many times I say it's a good thing to fail forward, it's a good thing to try something new and suck at it because it makes you stronger and better. It's still not natural. It's still not easy.
It's not easy. Yeah. But there has to be a need to change too.
Yep.
And even when there's not a moment of need, you have to be like, I'm going to change. Right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
I don't want to wait until I'm forced to change. I might as well change some of these things now. Right.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it. I've something I was thinking about as you were talking was the issue that I have the most with not changing is that I read a book and it's got 28 things that I need to do for a better life. And I'm like, 28 things, perfect. I'll write them all down and start them tomorrow. and then 3 days later, you're like, that's way too many. And then you give up on all of them and you're reading the next book, right? So it's taking on too many things at once. And that's how so many people fail at New Year's resolutions, right? Because they have their whole life that they want to change overnight. You just pick a couple of things and go. It's really great information, but you got to start somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. I think, one of the things you just said is why John Maxwell's company and his whole system is so successful, because he cranks out great books. And then you don't just read his book. If you're involved with his system or training at all, you're going to read his book, do a mastermind with it, and then sit down and talk to a coach to hold you accountable to implementing the things in the book.
The fuck is that? It's like we're living in a trailer park.
Hey, I identify with that remark.
I've been there too.
I know, right?
Yeah. So the first trailer house I ever got, I got for $150 off of Craigslist. It had 64 dead cats under the trailer and inside the trailer.
I mean, those are the best kind of cats, though.
Rented it for. That's very true. It's very true. Yeah, something we agree on. No, yeah. And so we moved into this $150. We had to cut the walls all the way up.
They should have paid you.
and turns out, 6 months into this, we find out that it's condemned. So we stopped paying lot rent and just lived there for nothing.
So, for those of you who are starting,
I'm a good salesman because I persuaded my family at the time like this was the best thing ever.
I think we could do an episode on that. How you position things, because that's powerful.
I was so passionate about it, and then I was like, I want to buy the one next to it, right? And then I was robbing parts off of that one to fix mine, and it was Then we found out we were living there completely illegally, and the trailer park manager was just cashing our checks because there was no legally not supposed to be a house there. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, 7. I think we lived there. I think we lived there 8 months.
Yeah, young love, right? You just you and your girl and loving life, right?
Yeah, me and the girl, and then we had a friend staying with us at the time, and her 2 kids, and then our 3 kids, or 2 kids, and then 2 kids, and she was pregnant. No. This is like full family. Yeah, it was great. 14 by 70. That's luxury, right?
I think
there.
a therapist would have a field day with you.
They gave up on me a long time ago.
On that note, we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah.